guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today in the Ask SSM video series, I definitely got one of the more unusual questions I've had in a while, all about a guy who wants to know from me and you. There's going to be lots of audience participation today. He wants to know if he should get back with his ex-girlfriend, but pretend to do it to try to get the dog. You're going to see that 10 months ago, she broke up with him. They've been together for 4 years. It was definitely winding down. It wasn't too good of a situation. And she broke up with him, but she got the dog. He bought the dog for her about a year before the breakup, but the dog was really more his dog. The dog clearly loved him more, wanted to be with him, and she, you could tell she was just so-so about the dog. And the victim of the breakup was the hardest because he misses the dog. Well, guess what? He hasn't forgotten the dog, and the dog hasn't forgotten him because he ran to his ex recently. She was walking the dog. Dog jumps all over him. He's so happy he misses her. And she expresses, guess what? Things aren't going too well and wants to get back. And of course, he doesn't want to get back with her, but he's thinking, well, maybe if I get back with her, I can get her to give me the dog. So, and then ghost her. So I'm going to go through this unusual situation here, and that'll be a good one because, breakups aren't that different than divorces, except for a lot of the legal mumbo jumbo, because it's parting of two parties, and oftentimes there could be something like a dog or a cat that you had together, and somebody's going to get them, and it's heartbreaking, because anybody that's an animal lover like me knows darn well you love your pet, whether you're a dog person or a cat person, or even if you have a goddamn snake, and that's tough. And what us pet lovers, we'll move mountains for our pets because we love them so much, and this guy wants the dog. So a big one to go over here. So he says here, oh yeah, by the way, if you haven't done already, guys, if you're on X, formerly Twitter, come check me out. The handle is SSM Channels. Really trying to grow it over there, and I appreciate all you guys have come on over. He says here, hey SSM, short time viewer here, but I think I have a rather unique situation going on. Yeah, dude, it's definitely a little different, but that's why I'm covering it. My ex and I have been broken up for almost 10 months. Really not going to get into the relationship other than to say it was not the best, and after almost 4 years together, she decided she needed some space. Well, that's what they always say. She just needs some space from you, not from somebody else. This was before I discovered the R-pill content, but even then I knew what that meant, so I knew it was over. So I said it was best, and we just ended. So in other words, it doesn't sound like you're too heartbroken over it. You knew it was on the way out. Of course, within a week, she was dating someone else. Of course, because most women can't be alone, and I guarantee you she was lining up your replacement before she broke up with you, and doing a Lord knows what with him. I suspect they were dating before the breakup, but at this point it does not matter, and honestly I no longer care. Well, that's good you don't care. Puts you in a good spot that you make good decisions. The good news was that at that point I honestly fell out of love with her because she was not easy to get along with, but there was a dog that she owned that I loved dearly. There you go. People stay in marriages for the kids. People also stay in relationships for the pets, the dog or the cat, or dogs or cats. Yeah, really. Honestly, one of the reasons I stayed with her for the last 6 months before the breakup, as it got to the point that I couldn't stand being around her. The dog's name is Pumpkin. She was a rescue dog that I got for her about a year earlier, but took up to me and really didn't want anything to do with her. I'm sure that chapped her ass. Remember, you got the dog for her. And I want to know, did she express an interest? Did she want the dog? Did she make abundantly clear, or was it a gift, She used to complain that Pumpkin loved me more than her, and that I spoiled Pumpkin. Sadly, very little I could do to get Pumpkin because she's my ex's dog legally. I did offer to buy the dog for $500 if she would sign her over to me. Mind you, Pumpkin really has no value, but to get Pumpkin, that was the value to me. Dude, trust me, I understand that. I'm a cat person, you're a dog person, we all love our pets, they're our children, and again, you would move mountains, and that $500, you would probably spend $5,000, I bet you, if you had it, because that's how much you love the dog. Non-pet people would never understand this, ever, but for the pet people, we get it. She wouldn't budge at any price. Ding, ding, ding. Just like an ex-wife. The way an ex-wife might use the kids as leverage to get what she wants, right here. And obviously, she doesn't care that much about the dog, but you want him. Or her. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but I cried like a baby over that dog, And no, not in front of her, as it was myself in my home. Dude, no shame. Mind you, I never cried over anything in my life for almost 20 years, as I grew up in a household where men do not show emotions. Especially you never cry. I saw my dad cry one time my entire life, guys. And you know why? It was in 1997 when my sister's cat, Popcorn, she named the cat Popcorn when she was 7 years old. Popcorn died, and it was sad. And my dad really loved that cat, and we were burying Popcorn up in the woods, nice little burial area. And my dad, whoosh, tears coming down. I couldn't believe it. One and only time I ever saw my dad cry. He loved that cat. We all loved Popcorn. And then we had my cat for another 8 years. Anyhow, he says, I need an outlet, so I got into running. I also went on YouTube and found your channel. Well, fast forward 10 months, and I was sitting on a bench at the dog park just enjoying the warm weather before it gets really, really hot. All of a sudden, I heard a dog whining, like really loud. I looked to my side and saw Pumpkin on a leash, and she was trying to get to me and whining really loudly. Yeah, after almost 10 months, she still remembered me and wanted me. Of course Pumpkin remembered you. You know, pets do. That's just how they, you know what I mean? I'm guessing you probably got Pumpkin relatively young, and even if you didn't, Pumpkin had the bond. And what an amazing coincidence that your ex happened to be there when you were there with Pumpkin. We could all speculate about stalking and stuff like that, or unless you're in a small area, a small town, small community, and that's just your place to go. I don't know. Of course, my ex was holding her back. She looked at me, and as she asked me if I wanted to say hi and pet Pumpkin. Really? I'm going to ignore Pumpkin? I know I might get a smack for it, but I said sure, and when she let go of the leash, Pumpkin ran to me and jumped to me, went straight in my arms like she would always do. Dude, I don't know if I'd be able to hold it back. I'd probably start crying. I started petting her, and my ex sat down next to me on the bench and said, Pumpkin still loves you. So what do you think is going on here, guys? I smell a manipulation tactic. She asked how I was because I honestly went no contact after the breakup, and I just said I'm doing good. I asked how she was, just to be nice, and she started to talk about how her boyfriend does not work, and she has to buy everything for him, and her savings are now gone. She had savings at $10,000 when we broke up. There's a freaking surprise. She gets together with Chad or Tyrone, who I'm sure she was cheating on you with before she ended it with you, but obviously she didn't care. And now it ain't going too well, and she's paying for everything. And now, look what's going on. She also went on how I was the perfect boyfriend, and if she breaks up with him, would I take her back? See? They always come back. Notice something, guys. Just as things usually go, this chick is now trying to work on her replacement for her now boyfriend with this guy all over again when she was doing the same to this guy early on. They will find replacements, and that way then when they break up, they go right to the next one. There's never a time period of truly having space, as she claimed, working on themselves, reflecting where they went wrong, taking any accountability where things went bad. Nope, just on to the next guy. And she's essentially cheating on this dude here. Take her back. I told her no because I'm in a good place in my life and do not want to date anyone at the moment. She then told me that Pumpkin clearly misses and loves me. What a bitch. Totally manipulating over this is just like an ex-wife. Getting the guy to come back or stay in the marriage, not getting a divorce over the kids. I know at this moment she's trying to use Pumpkin to get back with me, so I nicely said it's getting late and I gotta finish my walk before it gets dark. Good answer. What happened next broke my heart, SSM. When she went to grab Pumpkin from my arms, Pumpkin started to shake and whimper. Walking away was one of the hardest things I had to do in a long time. Yeah, just when you were probably in some way getting over Pumpkin, now she's back. There's Pumpkin. And Pumpkin wants to be with you. Pumpkin is your child. And this is things that people that aren't into pets and animals will never get. And by the way, for those of you out there that do not get it, the way you may feel about your child is the way that us animal people feel about our pets. Because I'm saying this because a lot of people don't fucking get it. It's amazing to me. You know? And the same way that us pet people who don't like kids will try to understand. I mean, obviously I can understand people because it's their fucking child. They, you know, it's a piece of them, but still. So the non-pet people understand these are our kids. The thing is, SSM, I'm thinking about telling my ex that I will take her back. Before you smack me, I'm not actually going to do it. I will say I will take her back on one condition. Sign over Pumpkin to me, and once she does it, I will ghost her. What do you think I should do, SSM? Let it go, or try one last time to get Pumpkin from that woman? So, there you go, guys. Before I get into this, like I said, I want you guys to all chime in on this one because this guy needs some help. I'm not going to tell you at all what you should do in this situation because I can see potentially legal problems and stuff like that. But let's address some things here. Okay, first off, women aren't stupid. And she's not stupid. And she knows you get back with her, it's very likely going to be because of the dog. And if you make this proposition that, okay, I'll get back with you, but, you got to sign Pumpkin over to me, and obviously I can imagine going to the lawyer's office and have that written up, it is extremely likely she's going to see that through that, and that the second she says yes and you get Pumpkin, see ya. So she's not dumb, so be aware of that. Another thing is, if let's just say you do that, she actually agrees to that, and then you take Pumpkin, it could get messy with her probably trying to, not because she cares about the dog, but out of revenge, once Pumpkin back, will try to go down some avenue, maybe even sue you, to say that it was all false and blah, 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 you had no intention of getting back. Who knows what it may be? Any lawyers out there chime in on this because I'd like to know. And bring all sorts of trauma and BS in your life. And some gals can get so crazy, man, break into your house to get Pumpkin back. Who knows? So evaluate that. But, and if you do this, and you get Pumpkin and doesn't work out, Pumpkin has to go back to her, Lord knows what she might do then to get revenge on you. From literally just taking Pumpkin to the animal shelter and donating him without telling you, to driving out to the middle of nowhere and letting Pumpkin go, or worse. I mean, you have to look at all these options here. But I have to say this, if you're going to do it, at the very least, if you're going to do this, and I'm not saying to do this, I'm just saying, in this scenario, at the very least, really think this through, And at the very least, if you're going to do it, make it seem like you're slowly easing into this. You start chatting again, stuff like that. Maybe you meet for coffee, And at that point, then you casually mention, well, if we do this, we'll give it some time, or shall I say, I'll give this another try for a certain period of time, but my condition is on the basis that you do sign Pumpkin over to me no matter what. And before you can get in this, you sign him over, and again, if she actually goes for this. But you make it clear, if you're going to do this, and this is all hypothetically, that you're at least making, you chit-chat with her for a while and stuff like that. It's not so cut and dry. But if you're going to do this, it's for a certain time period. You know what I mean? You're going to try it out, but no matter whether it works out or not, you sign Pumpkin over to me. Because, hey, you know what? Pumpkin clearly misses me. And I can tell, you're not as close to Pumpkin. Something like, her, you figure it out. But I can see it as being very, very messy. And I'm not telling you what to do. This rare is the day that I don't tell people what to do, or at least I'm not 100% sure of what to do. But this is one of them. This is why I want all you guys to jump in with different ideas for this guy, and he can figure it out. But, bro, I get it. I get you miss the dog. And let's be honest, it was your dog. You got the dog for her. You had the bond. The dog loves you way more, probably tolerates her. Dog misses you, and we'll move mountains for our pets, But really think this through. But remember, this is the same chick that you offered money for the dog for, and she's like, nope, no, not happening. And while everybody has their price, I got to wonder what would have happened if you would have offered $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000. I can imagine all the guys listening to this that aren't pet people, that don't get it. As I raise that figure, they're probably like, oh my God, $4,000 for a dog? Well, if you love that dog. But if somehow she agrees to this, make sure you get all medical records for the dog and everything else, and make sure things are well written and stuff like that. But I could definitely see problems if she agrees to this, and it looks like you pulled a fast one on her. Like literally, you got back with her, signed over the dog, and then like next week you ghost her. That's it. That could be an issue. But if it appears like, and this is all hypothetical, you generally made an effort, and after some time period it isn't working out, then okay. And Pumpkin's with you. But I just see drama. So be prepared for that no matter what you do. I love for Pumpkin to go with you. You love Pumpkin. She doesn't give a crap about Pumpkin. And I want Pumpkin to be happy. How many times did I say, man, if this was a drinking game, for the times I said Pumpkin in this fucking video, you guys would be freaking trashed. You'd be on the way to the hospital for alcohol poisoning. Pumpkin, pumpkin, pumpkin. So anyhow, bro, think it over, evaluate your options. All the guys are going to chime in here, especially the animal people, on what they think you got to do. And then I want you to look at it all, again, think it over, evaluate the best decision. And maybe it's possible you talk to her again and make an offer. Who knows? But try to do all options that don't involve anything that can be perceived as you pulling a fast one, or you know what I mean? Because it could get ugly, and I don't want that. Anyhow, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about it. Definitely let this guy know. Try to help him out. The right decision there. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.